What's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of where we interview different trenchers who are trading every single day here in the trenches in Solana Memecoins on Pump Fun, and we talk to them, find out what's going on. Today's episode is very special. It was requested by our potion community. Some of our members told me I need to interview this guy quick. He goes by the name of Flames, but I'm gonna let himself introduce himself. Let's get started. Welcome, my man. How you doing?
Thank you, bro. It's good to be here. It's really nice. I want to just give everyone some insight into how I got here. Hopefully help you guys out.
Awesome, dude. We're happy to have you here. I'm glad that you're taking the time today to take this interview, because I know it's always hot in the trenches, and any time away from the trenches is a potential missed cook, so I'm grateful for your time. So to start this off, man, talk to us a little bit about who you are. You know, tell everybody who you are.
Yeah, so I'm from the UK. I was introduced to crypto by my parents, actually. My dad does a lot of Forex in the first place, and he found this, and I started early Jan. It was rough, very, very rough, but literally just in the last month, you know, I've started to pick it up, and it's become crazy. Like, I've evolved so fast, almost. Like, I don't even know. I did not expect to be here. I won't lie.
Right.
I'm still in school as well, so it's crazy. I got to go to school tomorrow, and like.
That's crazy. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 16.
16 years old, and you're a full-time trencher, literally cooking while you're in school. That's nuts. So, yeah, man. To start this interview off, why don't you tell me how you started trading?
So I've been dabbling in trading, looking at it. I kind of knew what it was from my parents in the first place, and I obviously found it through Orange's YouTube channel, and that was kind of what kickstarted it. I just binge watched all of his videos every time there was a new one, and then my dad agreed to give me some money to start out, and I blew 95% of it. He gave me like 5 sol, and I did not know what I was doing at the time. It was just complete buying rugs, and then we loaded up again. I lost it all again, and that was early Jan. And I kept watching Orange's videos because they were very helpful to me, and like especially the live trading I found really useful. Just being able to see what was going on in his head.
Right.
So
mindset was.
Yeah, that I found really helpful, like in comparison, because I could just see what they were kind of looking for and why they were buying certain things. And then that was sort of when I decided to join Potion, and I found the alpha chat and stuff, and I started asking. I asked a lot of questions to start out with, and then mid-Jan, my dad gave me 30 sol, which at the time was a lot more than it is now, which to me was crazy because I've never really traded before, and that's a lot of money to start out with at 16. And so I was very scared. I was scared to even buy like a sol into something. I just didn't want to lose the money.
Right.
And for the first, yeah, I did not want to throw money away. I was like, what am I doing here? And then my dad actually caught Trump coin. I was asleep, and he caught it and made about 20 sol off that. So that kind of gave us a little kickstart. But from mid-Jan to, I'd say, end of March, mid-March, I threw most of it away, and I ended up, I think at one point I was down to 10 sol in my wallet. And literally overnight, I took a day off and went out, and the next morning I came back and I caught, I don't know if you remember Kokoro.
I don't remember it.
So it was Kabasuma's new dog he posted, and I caught that at 5k. Which went to like 2 mil, and that was my first huge play, and that kind of was the turning point for me where I was like, okay, I can do this. And I made, I think, about 25 sol for that in total, and I literally since then I've just been profitable. It's like something flipped inside my head, you know.
You figured it out.
I just became profitable literally overnight. It just clicked.
It happened to me too. I traded for 3 to 4 months where I just was not getting results. And then one day, it was in November, I went from making nothing, and then I had a 60k 3-day period where I made $60,000 in 3 days from making nothing.
Yeah.
And after that, it's just been, since then, I've just been able to make this work. But it's crazy how it really is just sometimes about how you see something and how your brain approaches the situation.
Yeah,
you know? It's like a puzzle, right? Like you can't solve a Rubik's Cube until you learn how to do it, but then once you learn, you can solve it. So it's kind of similar to that.
It's like the penny drops, and I've learned is very mindset. Like the mindset plays a huge part in this, and I just was putting so much pressure on myself, and I didn't think I could do it. And I remember being stuck in like the 18 to 25 sol range of my port for about 3 weeks. And that was just absolute hell for me. I was waking up, I'd make 4 and then give it all back. And I'd wake up and do the same thing for 3 weeks straight. And I just was convinced that it was over. I genuinely didn't think it was going to come anything from this. And then that day,
what got you out of that?
Literally Kokoro. So I was always like, I always did new pairs because Crypto Dan introduced me to those. And that I was in coins, I just never held them. I always cheated, and I was in the wrong coins most of the time. And I caught Kokoro, and that was, I think, a 400x. I made 25 solar for that. and that completely turned it around. As soon as I broke that, it was like off to the races.
Is that your biggest P&L?
No, so my biggest P&L, I've got two. One of them I'm currently in, which I'm up 30 sol on, which is TNN, the Trenches News Network. And then I think I made 36 sol on, I can't remember the coin, but 36 sol is my biggest P&L at the moment.
Awesome, man. And what's your biggest loss?
My biggest loss was, I think around 3 sol. I never really aped much, but when Melania coin launched, I put 10 sol into that at like almost the peak when it launched, and then 10 seconds later I was down 95%. Now that was rough for me. I'd never been down more than 200 bucks on a coin.
That one hurt.
And
yeah.
I literally got up from my I didn't sell anything. I got up from my computer, left. I came back, and for the next hour I watched it climb back to break even. So I got out of that, but that was a tough day. And then just recently, Remus, you know, the dire wolf.
I cooked on that.
I called that in here at 7k, which was a 1300x.
But you didn't.
I think I fumbled. I bought 3 sol at 7k, and I sold everything at like 50k. So that was a pretty big fumble, but it's kind of...
Peace be, and you learn,
You just got to move on.
You know, it's about
exactly. You just got to move on.
Big narratives that have a chance to go higher, it's better to at least clip out a little bit, leave some sort of chance for the upper hand. But honestly, if you made PvP, and you should always be happy with that. Profit's profit, and you know, anything that's not a loss is a W. So that's
awesome, for sure. That was the big lesson I learned there.
It's awesome that you were able to cook so hard and catch these runners so fast after only trading for a couple months. You know, it takes a lot. Some people never figure it out. For you to be...
Yeah, I'm very grateful to be in this position.
And also, it's cool that you trade with your family. That's always really, really cool. It's a unique situation as well.
Yeah.
So, question. If you could talk to yourself from when you first started trading now and give yourself one piece of advice to try to make yourself have a better experience trading, what would that be?
I think it would be ape less to start with. There was about a week where I aped practically nothing, and then I jumped to aping a sol every coin. And that was why I drained majority of my pool. I was just aping way too much. I was way too confident.
Right.
And that really gave me I was going down daily, and that was just not a good place to be in. So I think if I'd have just aped like 0.2, 0.1, it would have been a much more pleasant experience.
You would have learned without as much blood, basically.
Yeah. And I do think in the grand scheme of things, I didn't give too much back. Like, I only ever lost like 25 sol earning in comparison to some people I've spoken to. But still, aping less would have made my life easier, I think.
Yeah, and also I just tell people two things. One, scale into your experience, you know?
Yeah.
But two, if you run out of money before you get good, you can't afford to get good.
Yeah.
And then you just run out of money and you just quit. And then you just never make it out, right? So taking your time to learn before just throwing away all your money is huge. So I agree, man. And then
100%.
Another question for you. If you could give somebody who's either just starting to trade or maybe they've been trading for a little bit but they're not profitable at all, if you could give them one piece of advice, what would that be? I
would say the biggest piece of advice I could give is tracking wallets, and for example, take Dan in the server, just track his wallet and try and figure out why he's buying a coin, because that will fast track your understanding of a narrative and like what type of coins will run. Right.
I agree. Here's a question for you. How important do you think it is for someone who's new at trading, or just someone who's trading in general, to join a group like Potion or Shocked or any group that's similar?
I'll be honest, I don't think I would be where I am if I wasn't in a group. Just like the constant help, support, and like ability to ask questions made it a completely different experience. I think if I was on my own, I would not be here today.
Yeah, I agree. And would you say you've made like a lot of cool friends too in the community, like people that you talk to every day that like
Yeah, a lot more recently as well. Like, it's nice to get on every day and just chat to everyone in the chat and see how they're all doing. And it's good as well because you get like a breakdown of what's going on if you've not been on. So it's great to have just a recap and you're instantly in the know.
Hell yeah,
rather
man.
than
I'm agreeing with you, bro. It feels good to just hear it from the people that are there on the streets and the trenches.
Yeah,
we get news so fast in meme coins because it just comes into a coin, it gets tokenized, and we're seeing things before people see it on Fox and CNN because it's just hyper speed, and it's just cool to just be kind of so plugged in. You log into the chat in the morning, everybody's like, yo, be locked in. This just happened this morning. I think today, what was it that happened this morning that everybody was talking? Oh yeah, the Pope died. Yeah,
Pope dying. Yeah. Literally, I got on and I had like 5 messages about that, telling me you gotta get on. The volume's insane. I was like, all right, and you just get in, lock in.
Let's lock in. So Awesome. I want to do a little series of quickfire questions now to, wrap up the interview.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your favorite wallet to track?
I got to go with probably Dan's at the moment. He's just consistently in every coin.
Hell yeah, man. And what is your favorite strategy right now? Is it scalping?
It's got to be probably scalping new pairs.
Scalping new pairs?
That's mainly what I do, yeah.
In and out, in and out.
Literally just trying to be first.
Same for me. What was your favorite ever meme coin? Like, not because of how much you made, but just because you liked the concept of it, you thought it was really funny or something?
Favorite meme coin probably got to be Peanut. Just the narrative on that, everything about that coin was insane.
Yeah, dude, that Peanut stuff was so nuts. I was literally at my sister's wedding.
Yeah.
And I just top blasted it from my phone at a hotel. And I made I remember I was spending like $3,000 for like the hotel and everything for the wedding, and I was stressed because I didn't really have that much money at the time. And I was like in the hotel, like, fuck, I gotta make this back, like somehow, like I gotta make some money while I'm here. And I just see this Peanut shit, so I just blasted it like 50 mil or 40 mil or something, and it just sends to like 120 mil while I'm in it. And I'm just like, I made like $7,000 really quick, and I'm like, holy fuck, yes, I paid for the whole trip. And I'm like bragging to my family, Jesus. I paid for the trip while I'm here, bitches, you brokey bitches. Like it was so cool, man. I loved that.
Yeah, that's probably the best narrative I've seen.
Dude,
just so great.
It was crazy, and that time where Peanut was coming out, and then all these coins were just running. What was there was the Pythia that ran ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Just
I think it was insane as well. Just volume was so good in November.
Dude, it was like we didn't know what we had. We didn't know what we had in our time. It was just insane. Awesome, man. So thank you so much for spending your time here with us. I appreciate you being in our community. You're a great person, and it's just exciting to see you doing so well, especially as such a young person who hasn't even really been doing this for too long in the grand scheme of things compared to some of these other traders who've been here for a while. So congratulations to you. Thank you for always being here. Looking forward to cooking with you in the future. And this is awesome, man. It's awesome to have people here every day. I hope you have a great rest of your week, man.
Thank you, man. It's been an honor. I didn't think I'd be on the stage if you asked me 3 months ago getting interviewed, but here we are. So best of luck to you as well.
Much love to you, man. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, bro. And you.
Peace.